Okay, good day. Good day, delegates. I'm your chair, Shafira, and welcome back to the PPID Model United Conference 2024. Today I have Anissa, who will be assisting me for the substance noting. And in this conference, we will work together to moderate a smooth flow of debate, provide you with the appropriate feedback on your performance, and ensure that each member of the committee is treated with the utmost respect. So, first of all, let's start with the roll call. Countries. So starting the roll call, when your country is being called, please raise your Zoom hand and unmute yourself and state your voting status for whether that be present or voting. If you're present, it means that during the substantial vote, you are able to abstain. And if you state yourself as present and voting, you may not abstain during the substantial vote. So Italy, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Malaysia, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Malaysia. Qatar, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. United Kingdom, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Absent. Thailand,
absent and voting.
Thailand is present and voting. Egypt, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Egypt is absent. Argentina, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Argentina is absent. Nigeria, calling once, calling thrice, calling thrice. Nigeria is absent. New Zealand, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. New Zealand is absent. Switzerland, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Switzerland is absent. Vietnam,
Republic of Vietnam, present and voting.
Vietnam is present and voting. Next, Kenya, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Kenya is absent. Bangladesh,
present and voting.
Bangladesh is present and voting. Next, Singapore,
Yeah, present.
Singapore, are you present or voting?
Yeah, present and record.
Okay. Singapore is present. Next, Turkey, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Turkey is absent. Saudi Arabia,
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, present and voting.
Saudi Arabia is present and voting. South Korea,
present and voting.
South Korea is present and voting. Canada, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Canada. Australia,
The Commonwealth of Australia, present and voting.
Australia is present and voting. Mexico, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Mexico is absent. Indonesia, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. Indonesia is absent. South Africa, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. South Africa is absent. Brazil, Brazil, calling once, calling thrice. Brazil is absent. Russia,
Delegate of Russian Federation is present and voting. Thank you, Chair.
Russia is present and voting. Next, India,
India present and voting.
India is present and voting. Japan,
Delegation of Japan is present and voting. Thank you, Chair.
China, China, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. China is absent. United States, United States, calling once, calling twice, calling thrice. United States is absent. So after roll call, we can see that there are 10 delegates present. This makes a simple majority of 5, so to pass a procedural vote, we need 5 delegates to pass a motion, and a two-thirds majority of 7, which means to pass a resolution, we need 7 delegates to vote. Moving on, we'll go on to the speaker list. Delegates of Russia will be going on and then moving on to Bangladesh. Delegates who wish to be on the speaker list, please raise your Zoom hand. Japan, Japan, you may lower down your hand. And then we have Australia. Australia, you may lower down your hand. India, you may lower down your hand. We need 3 more delegates. India, you may lower down your hand. Vietnam. India, you may lower down your hand. We need 2 more delegates. I encourage the delegate of Saudi Arabia and the delegates of South Korea. Delegate of Russia, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you to the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. As we discussed on the previous committee session, we delve into the complexities of the dispute settlement process. We acknowledge the significant challenges in resolving economic disputes, particularly between the conflicting parties. It's evident that geopolitical conflicts profoundly impact free trade agreements, creating obstacles that hinder economic cooperation and development. It's evident that geopolitical conflict profoundly impact free trade agreement, creating obstacles that hinder economic cooperation and development. Despite these challenges, the Russian Federation remains committed to seeking and beneficial for all of parties involved. And we urge this esteemed council to support initiatives that promote dialogue and collaboration. Let's work together to develop frameworks that not only address current conflict but also pave the way for sustainable and peaceful economic relations in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate.
Time give to the chair.
Thank you. The time is absorbed. Next, we have the delegate of Bangladesh.
Okay, thank you, Chair. This is delegates of Bangladesh is speaking. Okay.
Sorry.
This is the delegates of Bangladesh is speaking. As we gather here today amidst the backdrop of unpredictable global challenges, Bangladesh stands resolute in addressing the serve economic ramifications. And also, furthermore, we stress the necessity of strengthening international cooperation to safeguard global economic stability. In light of the disruption caused by conflict, closer collaboration among nations is imperative, particularly in trade, investment, and energy security. Bangladesh calls for the creation of robust international frameworks that promote seamless cooperation, especially benefiting developing countries and disproportionately affected by economic shocks. So together we can cushion the impact of this crisis and foster a more resilient global economy. And also, moreover, ensuring food security remains paramount. And lastly, Bangladesh reaffirms that the importance of upholding international rules and principles, adhering to global trade norms and respecting international law are fundamental in maintaining a stable and equitable economic environment. In conclusion, Bangladesh stands ready to collaborate with all nations to mitigate the economic fallout of this conflict and forge a path towards a more stable and prosperous global economy. Together, let us uphold our shared commitment to resilience, sustainability, and international solidarity. Thank you. The time back to the chair.
Time is absorbed. Next, the delegate of Japan. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. This is the delegate of Japan speaking. So in the first and second committee session, we have some delightful and fruitful discussion with all of the delegates in here. So we heard that we agree and we realize that the free trade agreement have positive impacts in all of the country. And as for the first committee session and the second committee session discussion, we have a conclusion that we have to make some framework, we have to make some MOU, we have to make some dispute settlement mechanism in WTO. So the WTO, the council, have something to do with the conflicted country. We know that the geopolitical conflict, it will affect to all of the country in entire nation, not only in Japan, but it effect on all the other country. So that's why today we, as the delegation of WTO, we will bring up our working paper. We will present of our working paper so that we of the country it delegates in here, we have a solution. We have some solution to tackle this issue. So we, delegate of Japan, calling to all delegates, let's collaborate together, let's work together. So we have that framework solution to federal free trade agreement. Thank you.
Delegate of Japan, your time has elapsed. The delegate of Australia, the floor is yours.
Okay, it's delegate of Australia speaking. Thank you, sir, for the golden opportunity to give a speech in this forum. So, as we know, Australia has been actively engaged in pursuing and implementing free trade agreement to enhance its trade relation and economic growth. Below are key action. So, let's make our world better for everyone. The solution that the Australia give for the yesterday discussion is enhance multilateral comprehensive dialogue and cooperation between member states. Australia encourage member states to join Australia in comprehensive and progressive agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP) to resolve geopolitical conflict, comprehensive dialogue and negotiation among member states, and help build mutual trust. And as Australia maintained yesterday, Australia highly pursuing to all member states to eliminate discrimination between member states. As we know, the European Union is the prime example, the best example of eliminate
Australia,
discrimination.
your time has elapsed.
Thank you, sir.
India, the stage is yours. the delegate of India.
Yeah, this is the delegate of India. Thank you to both of chair. In an increasingly connected world, rising trade tension and unfair trade practice threaten global economic stability and our shared prosperity. As a country with a long history of international trade and as one of the largest emerging economies, India recognizes the importance of maintaining a balance of interest in global trade. India believes that fair and sustainable trade is the foundation for inclusive economic growth and global prosperity. To address this challenge, we need to strengthen multilateral cooperation through organizations like the WTO, eliminate harmful tariffs and subsidies, and adopt green technologies and sustainable standard in international trade. In doing so, we will not only protect our economy, but also ensure that all countries, especially developing ones, get a fair chance to thrive. India calls on all members countries to unite to address rising trade tension and strengthen their trade practice. We call for concrete action to increase transparency of
Chair, your
international.
time has elapsed.
Thank you, Chair.
The delegate of Vietnam, the stage is yours.
Check, am I audible? Okay. Republic of Vietnam really believes all the idea that already said by delegate of Japan, Australia, India that really concern
Point share, delegate of Vietnam is muted.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. Check, am I audible?
Yeah.
Republic of Vietnam really believe all the idea that already said by Japan, Australia, and India when the Japan really want to encourage the MOU and mutual understanding, especially in the Australia, and in India want to protect the international economy and international trade. As the Vietnam, we Republic of Member States of Vietnam, we just need to encourage more diplomacy and then make more political power so we can just do a bilateral trade that will be developing and make a mutual win-win solution for each delegates of member states. Member states in here need a lot of understanding, and not only understanding, we need more partnership for the future world trade and is for our in the name of supply chains of our commodity. That's all from Republic of Vietnam. Back to the chair.
Thank you. Your time is the chair absorbed the time. Now the chair is opening the floor for any points or motion. Delegates who wish to motion. Open only for moderated caucus. The delegate of Australia.
Okay, the delegate of Australia would like to raise the motion in open moderate caucus with the topic eliminate discrimination between member states.
Eliminate discrimination within member
With-
states.
Between member states.
Between member states.
With
How many?
15-minute duration and
How much speaking time per delegate?
90 minutes for 90 seconds for each speaker.
Okay.
Thanks, Chair.
The delegate of Japan.
Thank you, Thank you, Chair. We, the delegate of Japan, would like to raise a motion under the topic strengthening regional cooperation. Strengthening regional cooperation. Strengthening regional FTA cooperation. Regional FTA cooperation. We have total time 15 minutes and 90 seconds speaking time each delegate.
Thank you. The delegate of Japan. The delegate of Russia.
Okay, thank you, Chair, for the recognize. So the delegate of Russia would like to propose a motion that the total time 15 minutes in each time speaking 1.5 minutes. With the topic establishment of capacity building program as mitigation measures to tackling the negative impact of geopolitical tensions.
Establishment capacity of
Establishment of capacity building program as mitigating measures to tackling the
mitigating
negative impact of
measures
geopolitical tensions.
as mitigating measures for tackling
Tackling the negative impact of geopolitical tensions.
now. Now the chair is going to open the vote for the most disruptive, from the most disruptive to the least. The first vote is open for a moderated caucus submitted by the delegate of Australia on the topic of eliminating discrimination between member states. Delegates who wish to start a caucus on this, please raise your hand. Still need one more to pass this motion. Oh, seven delegates has voted for this motion. This motion clearly passed. Australia, would you like to be the first one or the last one speaking?
I will be the first speaker. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. The countries who would like to be in this speaking in this motion, please raise your hand. Brazil. Oh, Brazil, you weren't in the you weren't in the roll call. So are you present or voting? Present and voting?
We're present and voting.
Brazil is present and voting to the motion. So next is Brazil, Japan, Vietnam. Any other countries? Any other countries? I encourage the delegate of India. And the delegate of Russia. And the delegate of South Korea to be in this discussion. Now, the delegate of Australia, the floor is yours. Oh, have I missed any other countries? Oh, delegate of Saudi. Since this is only for 15 minutes, so I'll only be able to add one country, which is Saudi Arabia. Okay, the delegate of Australia, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Chair. In the effort to implementation the free trade agreement between member states, that's not all about product, but about the worker, about the service supplier. So to make the better of the free trade agreement in the service supplier and worker topic, we have to eliminate all of discrimination between member states. So we look to the European Union, that the best example, the prime example for eliminate the discrimination between the European country. So I have a solution for the eliminate this discrimination. The first one is enhance the human resource with mutual recognition agreement, such known as a MRA, to promote the development of MRA among member states to facilitate the recognition of professional qualification and license. So I encourage to all member states to take an action to discriminate to
Brazil, your
eliminate
time has
discrimination. Thank you,
elapsed.
Chair.
Brazil, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, Chairboard, thank you for giving us recognition. So, since our motion right now is to how to eliminate the discrimination between countries in their international trade actions. So, first of all, we would like to say that we're doing the international trade. So, when the values gonna be ensured by each country. So, whenever it's when we export or we import the commodities such as, and for example, the oil on even the workers. So when the value gonna be insured, so the country know they don't want to make like the further not suitable action that not suitable cannot be taken by the other member states. But when the value gonna be insured, they have the exact number of their international trade actions. So for us, the solution to eliminate discrimination between member states is to ensure the values that they are doing in their international trade. And after that, we can take further action to eliminate discrimination. And thank you also for the delegation of Commonwealth Australia for their solution. And we're looking forward to hear the other solution. Thank you.
To the delegate of Brazil, the delegate of Japan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. This is the delegate of Japan speaking. So we, the delegate of Japan, we addressing a pressing issue that affect us all, the discrimination. Discrimination in its many forms undermine the principle of our trade, the principle of fairness and equality that we strive to uphold in our global community. So in the context of the FTA, discrimination can manifest in various ways. It can be economic, where the unfair trade practice disadvantage certain nations or industries. It can be social, or it can be cultural. Japan believes that FTA should not only promote economic growth, but also uphold fundamental human rights and equality. Thank you to Delegate Australia that bring up this motion, and we agreed with the delegate of Brazil that we must ensure the value about our trade in our council. So we, the delegate of Japan, we have some solution for the discrimination. First, we make inclusive trade policies, and the second one is capacity building and technical assistance to all of the country. And then we can monitor and enforce mechanism about our inclusive policies. And yeah, we can do education and raising awareness each member of the country about this discrimination. So we hope we come up with solution about this discrimination, because this is an important issue to all of us. Thank you.
Delegate of Japan, your time has elapsed. Thank you. The delegate of Vietnam, the floor is yours.
Check. Am I audible?
Yes.
Republic of Vietnam. Member states eliminate discrimination between member states. We need to know there are a lot of challenges, especially Association of Southeast Asian nation, that we know the disparity of the each economy have different gross domestic product. We must ensure, I really agree with the reviews from the Brazil, from the Japan, and from the Australia that really care about concern about this matter. We need to know, we need to have the standardization of the prices, and we need another solution that member states offer are just we can just make mutual exchange in the best product of commodity. So the small country of developing country in the member states who are really scared to join this kind of exchange, they can just make the best way of product and to encourage their product quality during the exchange of good when doing the international trade. International trade in here, we must ensure that small countries, sometimes they're really scared to join, but we must make a inclusive space so they can just participate in this World Trade Organization, especially in discrimination, not only tariff, but it can be non-tariff. So that's all from me, member states. Back to the chair.
Reminding this is the moderate caucus, so there's no yielding back to the chair. Thank you, the delegate of Vietnam. Delegate of India, the floor is yours.
Okay, the delegate India here. Thank you for chair. We are gathered here as a representative of various countries with deserved culture and historical background. We are of our ultimate goal, maintaining international peace and security and promote justice and equality for all. However, we still face the harsh face to discrimination between member states still exists, hindering our collective progress. I would like to invite you all to imagine a world where no country feels unfairly treated, where every country has the same opportunity to thrive, and where international cooperation is based on mutual respect and equality. Is such a world too idealistic? I believe not, provided we are all united in an effort to eliminate discrimination among us. As a delegate from India, I invite all of you to take concerted steps to eliminate discrimination between member states. Let's get it with increasing transparency and accountability. Decisions are made with transparency and accountability, so no country feels ignored or treated unfairly. Encourage open cooperation and dialogue for open dialogue between member states to discuss and resolve discrimination issue constructive and inclusive
India,
way.
your time has
Thank you,
elapsed.
Chair.
The delegate of Russia, the stage is yours. The delegate of Russia.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you to the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. As the delegate of Russian Federation, we would like to emphasize the importance of addressing discrimination among member states in free trade agreements. Amid rising geopolitical tensions, Russia believes that fair and equal free trade is key to achieving global economic stability. We acknowledge that discrimination in trade agreements can harm international relations and hinder economic growth. Therefore, we support the motion to reduce discrimination among member states. To achieve this, we propose the establishment of standardized trade policies and regulations that apply equality to all of the member states, to ensuring ensuring a level playing field. In addition, we advocate for creation of a robust monitoring system within the WTO to ensure compliance and address any disparities. So by implementing these measures, we can foster a fairer and more equitable global trading system that benefits for all of the member states. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. The delegate of South Korea, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for your time, Chair. I'm from the South Korean delegations would like to add that indeed the agreement about the eliminates tariff on almost all goods traded between the two countries are more another like multilateral or bilateral, with the exceptions of certain agricultural products and textiles. About the agreement outlines specific rules for determining the origins of goods, including and including the use of certificate origin like a CBP, or this document must be provided to the countries. CBP is like a custom and a border protections, which to claim preferentially tariff treatment. And if we can find the time, hopefully we can talk about it and maybe as soon as possible to resolve it immediately to another delegations of each countries. Thank you. The time back to you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Korea. This is a moderate caucus, so there's no yielding back to the chair. The Delegate of Saudi Arabia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the delegation from Australia who raised this issue. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia recognized the urgent need to address discrimination between member states in international trade. We believe that fostering a fair and inclusive global trade environment requires collective action and commitment. Firstly, transparency is key, and hence transparency in trade agreement and practice ensure that all nations have equal access to information and opportunities. Secondly, promoting dialogue and cooperation among member states foster mutual understanding and trust by enhancing in constructive discussion. We can identify and address discriminatory practice effectively. Thirdly, implementing a robust mechanism for dispute resolution enhance confident in the international trade system. Fair and timely resolution of trade disputes uphold the principle of equality and justice. Saudi Arabia call up all member states to prioritize this principally in their trade policy and agreement. Let us work together and create a level playing field where every nation can contribute and benefit equality from global trade. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, the delegation of Saudi Arabia. Now the floor is open again for motions. The chair has recognized 2 working papers from 2 delegates and encouraged these 2 delegates to introduce their papers. Are there any motions? The delegate of Brazil. The delegate of Brazil.
Thank you, Chair. We, delegation of Federative Republic of Brazil, would like to raise a motion in order to introduce our working paper.
Okay. The delegation of Japan.
The delegation of Japan would like to raise a motion to introduce the working paper.
So there are 2 motions on the floor. We'll first vote for the first one, which is the introduction of working paper by Japan. Any countries who's in favor, please raise their hand. I need 2 more delegates to pass this motion. I need 1 more delegate to pass this motion. This motion passes. The delegate of Japan, you have 5 minutes to introduce your working paper and a 5-minute session for a Q&A for I will be sharing the screen. Is my screen available? The delegation of Japan.
Yeah, Chair. Your screen is. Yeah, we can see your screen. Wait.
You have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to introduce your working paper. The time starts now. The floor is yours.
Okay, so thank you, Chair. So in our working paper, actually, it's still a very raw working paper. So in our working paper, we have some 10 pages because we still want to discuss about what we gonna do, what our solution from each nation. Do each nation have a solution for this issue, for this FTA issue? So actually, in the first and the second committee session, all of the nation is talking about the geopolitical issue and how we can have some dispute resolution, dispute settlement for that issue. So in this working paper, maybe can you scroll it down, Chair, please? Wait. Okay, so yeah, in this. Okay, so actually we have some view on this dispute settlement. So Japan is proposing EDRI or EDRI solution. With this solution, we have some mechanism to dispute settlement around the country. We have some resource allocation, so we can allocate more financial resources to the WTO dispute settlement body to ensure it has the necessary means to handle this efficiently. And the second one, we have a solution for fast-track resolution process. So we have defined clear criteria on what constitute an urgent case, ensuring that such cases are prioritized and resolved swiftly. And the third one is solution is training and the capacity building. So all the representatives of all the country have known about how they can dispute settlement of a conflict. And the fourth one, we have monitoring and evaluation. And the fifth, we have transparency and accessibility to all our country. So our country can monitor the dispute settlement and have some we have some transparency in there, so all of the country know what the other country do in this dispute settlement. So the confidence building it is idea from the delegate of Saudi Arabia and the delegate of Vietnam about how we can make a comprehensive dialogue and inclusive dialogue. So maybe it's on their solution in another section, but yeah, this is our solution for this issue. So, and Japan is proposing about the implementation strategy. So we have 3 phases for the implementation of the EDRI. So we're starting a pilot program. So we have engaged our relevant stakeholders and regularly update and refine the EDRI based on ongoing evaluation. So we delegate of Japan is pointing to 2 main points for our discussion in first and second committee session. Is about how we have dispute settlement in WTO, and the second one is strengthening the regional FTA. So as we know, as mentioned by the delegate Vietnam and delegate some delegate like delegate of Russia, Saudi, and I forgot delegate. And delegate of Thailand. So we have regional strengthening and delegate of Australia. That delegate of Australia is emphasizing on how the European Union works. So the European Union have some mechanism, they have some structural though, so they can eliminate the discrimination among the countries. So for eliminating the discrimination among the country, we must strengthening our regional FTA. So in the ASEAN, we have AFTA. In America Latin, we have Mercosur, and in Japan we have CAFTA, and in other countries we have CAFTA and another FTA. So with this strengthening regional FTA, so we have some integration. So all of the country with all the FTAs, you have some robust framework, have same vision with the WTO and with the draft resolution that we will propose later. So another critical aspect of strengthening our regional FTAs in digital integration. So we have establishing digital tech platform for the trade documentation, custom procedure, compliance check, and streamline process, and significantly reduce the paperwork. So maybe this is the big 2 points that I can that we delegate of Japan can conclude from the all solution from all the delegates. Actually, we coming up to these 2 solutions, and some delegates have different mechanism in our working paper, but that's okay. We will discuss it more later in this council, in our committee session. So Chair, can maybe some other delegates in this working paper present their solution too, or just Japan?
We'll be motioning that for in another session, in another chance, I mean. But now, for now, we're opening the floor for Q&As for the delegate of Japan.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Are there any questions for the delegate of Japan? If do, please raise your Zoom hand. The delegate of Brazil.
So the delegate of Brazil would like to ask a question to the delegation of Japan. Can they elaborate the regional FTAs that proposed in their working paper? So can they elaborate the regional FTAs?
Yeah, sure, delegate of Brazil. Thank you for your question. Actually, to strengthening the regional FTA, so first of all, we will have some mechanism or framework in WTO first. So after the EDRI initiative is implemented, so the WTO will have some mechanism how to dispute conflict, how to settle a conflict in a fast track wise. So after that, the framework and the solution from the WTO is implemented to each country. So all of the regional FTA have some framework, have some guidelines. So they have guideline to ensuring they have some guideline to dispute settlement about the conflict among the countries. Maybe the conflict is on their FTA, regional FTA, so they have guideline. They have some guidance to resolve the conflict. And not only that, the regional FTA also we highly emphasize on the Delegate Australia speech about the discrimination and some solution from the Delegate of Vietnam and Delegate of Saudi Arabia that we have some solution for discrimination. So maybe the enhancing the capacity building and we strengthening our FTA, like we have seen some good regional FTA, some excellent regional FTA in maybe in European Union. We have they have a mechanism. They have some dispute settlement. They have court in their regional organization. So maybe we can implement that too, and we can see into that. So maybe that's maybe that's our explanation about regional FTA, strengthening the regional FTA. Thank you.
Are there any more questions on the floor?
Okay.
Delegate of Brazil.
Would like to ask again a question to the delegation of Japan. May you also elaborate the things that you address in working paper about the dispute settlement that will be held by each member state? So can you a bit elaborate the dispute settlement? So for the exact shape of the dispute of settlement. Thank you.
So actually, we're still discussing about how the dispute settlement shall be implemented in each regional FTA. We still discussing about how do we gonna do, and how about the mechanism, the implementation, and how maybe the flow line of the dispute settlement. So, but we encourage to WTO that we allocate more financial resource for the WTO, and we encourage to WTO to implement fast track resolution process. In this fast track resolution process, the WTO will be have some prioritizing checklist. So is this issue is more is an urgent case, or this issue is some small cases. So the fast track resolution process will be the fast track resolution process will the WTO will maintaining the conflicted countries. So the WTO know that this is urgent cases that need to be solved as soon as possible, and so they have some priorities in that. So, and the WTO will be the facilitator and will be the moderator for the solution for the enhanced dispute resolution initiative. So with this initiative, so we hope to have some mechanism, and we have some flow line. We're still discussing on that, so maybe we can discuss it more later in the next committee session. Thank you.
Okay, the time for introducing working paper by Japan has elapsed. The floor is back again for motion. Are there any other motions on the floor? The delegate of Brazil.
A delegation of Federative Republic of Brazil would like to raise a motion. Point of information, Chair.
Yes, point of information.
Can we raise again the motion to introduce our working paper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the delegation of Federative Republic of Brazil would like to raise a motion in order to introduce our working paper.
The delegation of Brazil has a motion to introduction of their working paper. Those who are in favor, please raise your Zoom hand. I still need one more vote. Okay, this motion clearly passes. Delegation of Brazil, you have 10 minutes or 5 minutes to introduce your working paper. I will share the screen. The delegation of Brazil, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency Chairboard, thank you for giving us recognition. Also, Honorable Chairboard and esteemed delegates. So here the delegation of Federative Republic of Brazil introducing our working paper. So actually those are the fundamental things that we've right now, just a working paper, not a draft resolution. So we think that we should make it more simple. First, in the first session, we've addressed the commitment of member states in the implementation of free trade agreements or FTAs. So to elaborate this point, we think that also we thank again the delegates of each countries that proposed their solution to fundamental commitments of the member state of World Trade Organization to implement their free trade agreements or FTAs. The second one in the first session is about concerning the direct impacts of geopolitical conflict on trade agreements. So as we know right now, we have two huge conflicts in each region, one in Middle East and one between Russia and Ukraine. Also, the delegation of Russian Federation, they've talked upon this matter, and we think that we highly emphasize the delegation of Russia to make a more comprehensive solution about the in order to make a further step after concerning the direct impact of the geopolitical conflicts. And the third one is the supporting, as the delegation of Japan stated, the supporting the dispute settlement to make condition more conducive in every region in order to make further step can taken slowly and exactly comprehensively by every country. So after dispute settlement, that's our main reason why we ask a question about the dispute settlement, and we thank delegation of Japan for their explanation. And during the second session, the first thing that we've addressed is as a delegation of Brazil is calling the World Trade Organization headquarters to invite the country's authorities, at least the ministries of trade affairs in every member states. Right now, we know that in this meeting we have some delegation of some countries that they not present in this meeting. So we call the World Trade Organization headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, to invite, as we said before, the at least the ministries of trade affairs in order to address some issues and to strengthen their commitment of free trade agreements. And the second thing that we've addressed is encouraging member states to address ongoing issues that including potencies of harmonization in trade agreements. This a very important point, as the delegation of Saudi Arabia has addressed it, how the transparency in international trade is so important. So that's why the member states should address ongoing issues, including potencies of harmonization in trade agreements to make it more suitable. And the third thing is encouraging main player in international trade to do relatable action. We know we have some countries that they are in economic rankings, they are in perhaps in big 5 or big 10. So we know that they are the main player or big player in international trade. For example, the Russian Federation or the Japan or the other country with sustainable economy. And after that, the fourth point is supporting initiative of countries who want to increase their trade scale. So since we also concerned about the developing and underdeveloped countries who they want to make further action in international trade, but they are not able to make it because some obstacles in the international trade affairs. So we think the initiative of those countries should supported by especially the main player in World Trade Organization and also from each member states. Thank you.
Thank you to delegate of Brazil. The floor is now open for questions. Are there any questions on the floor? Since none, the chair is in favor is opening the floor again for motions. We are in favor of a moderate unmoderated caucus. Are there any motions on the floor? The delegate of Japan.
Chair point. So we delegate of Japan, we have some questions. So for
Oh,
the
question for the delegate of
question,
Brazil.
not question for delegate of Brazil. The question. So what the time we will do the break for this?
For this, the break time is 4:45.
Oh, 4:45. Thank you, Chair.
Are there any other motions?
And if all we have motion.
Delegate of Japan.
The delegate of Japan would like to raise a motion for open unmoderated caucus with the maximum total time allowed.
15 minutes. The maximum time is 15 minutes. The delegation of Japan has motioned for a unmoderated caucus. If you are in favor, please raise your Zoom hand high and low. I need two more. This motion clearly passes. You have a 15 minutes of unmoderated caucus. The time starts now.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank again the all delegates, also especially for the working paper that we see it well, so suitable for the current situation in our World Trade Organization. So I think also we think that we can move on with the other obstacles in World Trade Organization, such as how to manage the sanctions that given by main players in international trade to the several countries, to developing and also underdeveloped countries. So we think that we can move on with how World Trade Organization can strengthen the rules or strengthen their policies to manage the sanctions that given by certain countries to certain countries too, especially to developing and underdeveloped countries, with the way of discrimination. So this is so important point. So it's also how to manage the discrimination that happening in our international trade.
Thank you, Delegate of Brazil, about the maybe we Stephen wanna to talk about the how do we can resolve the discrimination, right? Or sanction for country. How do you Brazil?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so yeah, we think that we can make it in fourth station in moderate caucus to make it more quickly and more comprehensive. So we think that in moderate caucus, so each delegate can make their statements or their arguments about the how to manage the discrimination that happening in international trade. But we would like to make some kick off about the how to manage the discrimination. So for example, with trade organization, we have our authorities to uh to ask a question or to make a requirement for a certain countries in their trade policy. So we can invite them to yeah, to headquarters or to our offices, yeah, anywhere. But we can make a requirement, or we can ask a requirement from certain countries that they do their sanction, or they do their trade policy strictly to developing and underdeveloped countries. Since we have the authorities, so as a World Trade Organization, we can also invite the relatable stakeholders to World Trade Organization, to the discussion or to the negotiation, to the table, simply. And after that, so we think that in when the two stakeholders or two parties come together with one table, so we think that the negotiation is the important key. So that can be a start point of their country to not make their trade policy strictly and discriminately to smaller countries.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Delegate of Brazil. We agree with you that we can use the WTO as the facilitator and mediator between the countries, so the countries can negotiate and they can have some yeah, negotiation in the table. So maybe the country with have some discrimination with their protectionism policy or with their sanction policy, so they can resolve it. We agree with that, with the delegate of Brazil solution about how we can how we can eliminate the discrimination. And yeah, we also want to emphasize and encourage to any of the delegates in here who have any solution for that our issue, that we have some bilateral issue from we have some strengthening regional capacity issue, and yeah, we have some discrimination issue. If I'm not mistaken, the delegate of Vietnam is mentioning about how the developing country can yeah, we have a fair trade with the price standard, right? Delegate of Vietnam. Hello, Delegate of Vietnam.
Yes, our solution in the years one if we really want to make the small developing country to just participate in this kind of problem, we must make sure one of the things that already said by previous, especially in the Australia and the another delegates that say we need a standardization in the prices. So in this kind of standardization, we can just make a small country participate more so they can feel respected, and we must know what is their concern. So when we know what make them not participating in the World Trade Organization, and then we just encourage them to join WTO to support our free trade agreement. With this kind of free trade agreement, I really believe all the small country will join this kind of mechanization and want to join in the negotiating the future free trade agreement. Yeah, that's all for me. Another delegation.
Thank you. So maybe I wanna break down to three main points about what we discussed and what our solution gonna do in this council in the draft resolution. So I will send it through the chat. So this the big three main points about our solution. The first one is strengthening principle and commitments. Yeah, we have discussed it about how we can have a dispute settlement mechanism in WTO, and number two is process and mechanism improvement. So maybe WTO already have some bodies that mentioned by the Argentina yesterday about the WTO have bodies to eliminate to dispute settlement. So we encourage to fix and fix that process and mechanism improvement. And the third one is international and regional cooperation. So maybe later in our draft resolution is a solution for our issue, right? So I want to propose to this council that we focusing on these three issues. The first one is strengthening principle and commitment in WTO, and number two is strengthening the process and mechanism improvement in WTO, and number three is international and regional cooperation. About the mechanism and what the solution, maybe we can discuss it later in draft resolution discussion.
Okay, definitely we agree with we agree with that. The a key of solution, we think that the 3 points until now, at least until now, is the key point of our pathway to our draft resolutions. Also, do not forget to address more issues that we have. We think that we have 5 questions to be addressed or to be answered in our STG or study guide. So we look forward to move on with the other issues, but these 3 key points, we think that it's so important, at least until now, to make, as we stated, our pathway to the resolution paper. Also, we can make them one by one. For example, the strengthening per principle and we're sorry, how to process the improvement by member states, and we can make them how to ensure the mechanism improvement in the actions. And also for international cooperation and regional cooperation, we think that it can be separated, international and regional, since in every regional there difference of their concerns, different of their obstacles, differences of their challenges. So we think that regional cooperation should be addressed separated from the international cooperation. Also, that's so important point that to ensure the prices, yeah, because the small countries, or we in our language is developing or underdeveloped countries, as we stated in at a previous meeting, that there is uncertainty especially in the price and in the tariffs. So we think that it's also one of our solution to make the price is certain, the certain price.
Delegate of Brazil, you muted yourself, or you done, or is
We're sorry.
okay. So are you done with your speech, or you still speaking? But I don't know your
We're waiting for you all, actually.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
No. I did. So sorry. So I think that some issues that your mic is muted suddenly. Okay. So so we agree with the delegate of Brazil. Maybe we can separate the international and regional cooperation yeah, we have maybe to chapter in our draft solution later about international cooperation, and the next chapter about the regional cooperation. So actually, so we hear in our paper, our working paper in last night, we see some solution for each delegates in here. And yeah, we conclude that the solution is of all of delegates is a very cool solution. It's a very yeah, it's really cool solution. And as we said, the document said, there is no bad solution. We have good willing to clear this issue, to have some cooperation with this issue. So we, the League of Japan, is conclude that from all of our solution is the three main points of all our solution is this. So and then in the drafting or draft solution later, so all of the delegate can write their solution in this issue for in these three main points. So maybe for the first one, strengthening principle and commitment, the Australia have some solution, Brazil have some solution, Russia have some solution, Vietnam have some solution. Maybe we can write it later about our solution. And for the process and mechanism improvement, each country also have some different view and different mechanisms. So maybe we can word it and discuss it later. So and that about the process and mechanism improvement. And for the international and regional cooperation, maybe from another delegate, we can conclude it in our draft resolution later. That just put your solution in our draft resolution in simple way. So we have some. Okay, so from the delegate of Brazil, this is the solution is number one is this, number two is this, number three is this. And from another delegate, maybe from the Australia, number one is this, number three is this, number three is this. So all the delegate have yeah, we have some big solution for all of us. Maybe from other delegate guys, is me and is the delegate of Japan and
Delegate of
Brazil.
Russia would like to give us a little bit opinion.
Yeah, okay.
So beforehand, thank you to delegate of Japan and delegate of Brazil, who have give such a good idea to maintaining dispute settlement. But okay, so the delegate of Russia would like to express our support for the mechanism proposed by Brazil. This mechanism, which requests countries imposing sanctions on other nations to address strictly to pre-trade agreements principles, is a significant measures toward creating a conducive and inclusive trading environment. And yeah, Russia believes that such a mechanism will pressure sanction imposing countries to maintaining fair trade practices, to ensuring that no nation is unfairly disadvantaged, and we recognize the importance of upholding the principles of free trade agreements, especially in these challenging geopolitical times. And yeah, to as a compliment, Brazil's proposal, Russia would like to suggest establishing an independent monitoring body within the WTO. This body would oversee the implementation, how far the implementation is successful, and yeah, to offer and also to oversee the implementation of sanctions to ensure that they do not violate free trade principles, and also in addition, we propose regular
The
reviews and
time has
assessment to
elapsed.
ensure transparency. Yeah, so that's our
The time has elapsed.
oh,
Thank you,
okay, thank
delegate.
you.
Thank you, delegates. Now the floor is open for now it's for break time. So the chair is in favor of a motion to suspend the debate. Are there any motions? Delegate of Brazil.
The delegate of Federative Republic of Brazil would like to raise a motion in order to suspend the debate.
Since this is a one and only motion, this motion clearly passes. Thank you, everyone. You can have a break, and we'll be back on 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Chair, before we break, I have some question about our draft resolution. We will
Yes.
make it in committee session 4 or before the committee session 4 or after the committee session 4 or in the committee session 4.
It is due before the first committee session. So maybe we'll make it on the fourth committee session. So I'll be sharing during the break. I'll be sharing the screen for the draft resolution, a template of it, so you can see it. And you're on a break now. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
thank you, Chair.
Thank you.